Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you guys for waiting. And looks like we have about 4 to 6 viewers in chat. Thank you guys for so much for waiting. I appreciate it. And welcome back to another episode of Talk Your Instinct. We're still on season two, episode seven. They this episode is actually really special to me because Rotendo has been like a really cool guy throughout the whole entire KI community, literally helping out everybody, even helping out getting stuff ready for the KI World Cup. But we always try to help him out the best way we can. But he's always trying to bring out big things, for us, even like trying to get us into Evo. He is literally like the guy to do it. So, guys, I want to give you guys a warm welcome to my good buddy Rotendo, and he's a really cool guy, old school player. He's been part of the FGC ever way before my time, and me, I'm a old guy right here. So Rotendo, you are up on screen and you're unmuted. Welcome to the show, man.
Yo, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
It's been a long time coming. I know you've asked if I wanted to come on the show, and
yeah,
just trying to find the time. And you tried to get me on in the past, and just like, it hasn't really aligned
yeah,
uh, due to scheduling and your plans and stuff. So,
yeah.
I'm happy to be here and to talk video games. Video games and life. So.
Yeah, exactly. Good to see you. God, the last time I saw you was at KI World Cup 2017. That was
Yeah, it's
literally
been a
like
while.
that. That was like literally like the last time I saw you. Because like literally after that, I stopped traveling. I was like really focused on my golf career and stuff like that. So that took up a lot of my time. But I came back. I'm still doing golfing stuff, but that's on my personal time. So, Rotendo, like when I say old school, like I know what old school is, and you've been around for those that are watching right now. Like back then, like you were there, like when the FGC was like starting to grow, like really, really starting to grow. Like we're talking about like you know
Dude.
young.
Yeah. That. I'm thinking. You seen that meme, right? The meme with the Lord of the Rings meme. I was there
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
1,000 years ago, and that's what
It's
and
okay.
that's what I was thinking about. I was like, yo, I was there from the
Yeah,
beginning. It was
yeah.
crazy.
Like you were there to like watch like young Justin Wong. Like we're not talking like Justin was like literally like in his prime in Marvel too. Like no one could beat that guy.
Yeah, before Justin. So
Oh yeah,
I don't like date myself, but like so we're all familiar with magazines, right? So
yeah,
magazine subscription. And so now you don't the only gaming magazine that I think is still around is maybe like Game Informer.
yeah.
Um, so back in the day, you had your EGM, you had Game Pro, you had all
Electron.
these sites, and I like EGM two. And so back then, I read the magazine, had buy the monthly subscriptions, Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
Power,
Yep, I remember
everything.
those.
And
Mm-hmm.
so in the magazines, I would read. That's my only source before the internet. That was the only source to know what's going on, like in terms of
Yeah,
video
that.
games, especially like competitive gaming, because back then it wasn't really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you had a community, that was the only way I found out that tournaments existed.
Yeah,
So I would read about these tournaments in California, tournaments like in New York and Florida. I was like, yo, that's a thing. There's
yeah.
Street Fighter Two tournaments, and so back then I would read about Justin, not Justin. I'd read about Alex Valle,
Mm-hmm.
John Choi, Mike Watson,
Yeah,
Myers, uh, Jason Cole, Afro Cole,
yeah. Africa Hall. Yep.
all these guys. So that's people around my age. They're a few years older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
James Chen, Seth Killian. You all know who James Chen is, so there's
Yeah.
no explanation needed. But I would read about all these, people like in the magazines and tournaments or whatever, and then how it would progress. I actually saw the evolution from these back homebrew these tournaments and these local arcades, and how it kind of fostered into what we have now, to where these majors and we're traveling and whatnot. It's crazy, so I
Yeah.
got to see these people grow up, people like uh advancing their careers, because back then most of them were in college. They the one that started, that pioneered this whole thing. The Cannon brothers, they're still finishing school
Mm-hmm.
and everything now, and now they're designing video games. I think most of the people, most of us were on that path. We wanted to work on games. Gaming is what we wanted to do. Video games,
Yeah.
and most of us had a career in video games. Most of us like became game producers, developers, programmers, game testers, you name it. We were in the game industry,
Yeah.
and that's something that I saw. That was kind of like a trend. Most people were doing that, and then but now it's like you have everyone of different backgrounds. They're nurses, they're pharmacists,
Mm-hmm.
they work for EMT, they're police officers, librarian, teachers, lawyers, everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, so yeah, I've been around quite a bit.
Yeah. Um, yeah, because like back then, like you said, like in magazines, like that was our resource back in the day. Like I'll scroll through the magazines, but like on the like if you go to like the bat page, you'll see tournament results for Street Fighter Third Strike, Marvel
Yep.
2, Guilty Gear, you any fighting game, it was like literally on that page. That's when I first saw Ricky. That's when I first saw John. The list goes on and on. Like, guys, back then, that was our only resource. And I was like, Jesus, like, back then I was like, how come Initial D can't get this type of exposure?
Yeah.
Because I was playing Initial D really heavily back in the day, but, we had our crowd, but the bigger crowd was over at the fighting game area, which is like in the back, and I'm just like, God damn, like, this is getting a little too crazy over here. It's just that that was like literally like the first time I ever saw like somebody from the East Coast like come to Cali, and especially like here in NorCal. Like I'm a dumb young teenager at the time going, man, these guys travel all over. What a waste of money. I didn't know any better back then. But ended up, I kind of saw Justin Wong. I didn't know who he was at the time, and he literally beat everybody for Marvel 2, 1 to $500. But you guys got to remember, $500 back then was a lot of money
It's a lot. Yeah.
when we were growing up, and he literally just took everybody's money and he just took off.
Yeah,
So
I got a quick story. So I started
yeah,
competing back in 2000. So like when I was younger, I grew up very in a strict household. So
oh yeah,
I didn't travel. I didn't go to the mall. I didn't like meet up with people and friends that play. I didn't have anyone to play with. So
okay,
except like my neighborhood. So just like my neighborhood, I was kind of like the best in my neighborhood. And you know how
yeah,
the story goes. It applies to sports. It applies to everything. Like you're the
yeah,
best locally, and
mm-hmm.
then when you're in a bigger pond, you're not like the biggest shark
Yeah,
anymore. So it's just the same thing. So I'd never had that exposure to where that I had a community of other players. So it was just me, the people I knew maybe from school. I go to like the local arcade,
okay,
or the what's it called, like the laundromat that had arcades there. So
yep.
I would, on the way to school, I would stop by the laundromat and I'll play a couple games, because it was like, oh, whatever, get some
Yeah.
games in, and then after school on the way home, I'll stop by the same laundromat, play some games. Maybe there's an older gentleman, whatever they're playing by, and
Oh
I'll
yeah.
play. So my competition was just like usually like older people that was there
Yeah.
because the time or whatever, or like the pool hall. I would sneak into the little pool place
Yeah.
just to go to the arcade, because it's supposed to be like 18 and over, but I would somehow like sneak until I got kicked out. And I'll play these older, people, and Alpha 2, Alpha, Street Fighter, whatever fighting games I had, I'd play.
Yeah.
but it wasn't until I got older, I was, in the military, and then so now I have a car, I have a transportation, I can actually travel. So now you have resources, SRK online, you can actually meet up people, and
Mm-hmm.
that was like my okay. Now I actually can I can meet with strangers that I've never
Yeah.
met before, and like to me, I was like, I didn't really put any thought to it. In today's age, today's society is like, oh, you gotta be kind of careful. Back then,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go meet so and so, like 3 hours away, and whatever, play games at his arcade.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is North Carolina, back 2001. I think I came back from one of my deployments, and
Thank you for your service, by the
uh,
way, Rotendo. Thank you.
yeah, appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would drive to Raleigh, Durham, Greenville, all in North Carolina, Charlotte for tournaments. And this is my first exposure to the whole, FC tournament, like actual, because I would meet people, I know them like on SRK on the forums,
Yeah.
but meeting them live in person is a whole different thing. It's a whole different avenue.
Yeah.
And then, go to arcade where I'd never been to arcade was like so packed, full of people,
Yeah.
and there's like shoulder to shoulder, you're kind of like doing this, to kind of get
Mm-hmm.
by. And maybe they have one cabinet, maybe two cabinet. Everyone's all huddled around,
Because they all want to
watching
watch.
the match,
Yeah.
watching the match. And then you have, that pressure, that the atmosphere, it's cannot be replicated. I mean, you have Evo, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
Totally different atmosphere, but like I learned then and there how good the East Coast was. Because
Yeah.
New York is only a couple hours from North Carolina. So when I
Okay.
first heard that, Justin Wong and Arturo Sanchez and Ricky and Flash and they're all coming down, I was like, oh my God. Like back then I was kind of like, like a little fanboy
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't really know any of them in person. I just you just read about them. So,
Yeah, you
these
just
are
read
like,
read about them. Yeah.
yeah. So like, oh, it was like these so I looked at them as celebrities back then because like what I've read and their accomplishments,
Mm-hmm.
and but they came down and they're like regular people, but they would mop the floor with everyone there, like Sova Nova, like Northern South Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about these tournaments in these smaller states. I'm trying to imagine because now I'm in Texas. Texas, like you don't hear a lot of people from out of state coming in, but
Yeah.
these states are a lot smaller. So you have people from South Carolina, uh, South Virginia, North Virginia, New York,
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, like all these from New Jersey, all these different players from everywhere. And then all these games, and then like you see Justin winning everything, and then second place like Sanford,
Mm-hmm.
and then Arturo, and then Ricky. So like first through fourth or fifth, or how many people that came down. That's how many places they've always taken on per game, every single game. New York,
Yeah.
like at least the top six space, and everyone getting bodied by New York, and then you have like the side games where the manager for the arcade would could set it to like tournament mode or whatever to where they would be able to run like these side games, exhibition matches or money matches or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Set it that way so it would restart whatever. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I got to witness, the chaos at its, I wouldn't say almost at its infancy, but learned how powerful like a region is.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to the West Coast, it's kind of the same thing over there. It's a trend, So like when there's like a community
Mm-hmm.
of a lot of talented players, you see, everyone kind of levels up.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of, and you can see it there, and that exists. Like in, I met the NorCal people. I met like the SoCal
Mm-hmm.
people there. It's just they experience the whole experience, So and that's like my first taste, of like
Yeah.
tournaments, way back when.
Yeah, I mean, like, the FGC has literally, like, come a long way. Guys, back then, like, tournaments, like, at an arcade, it was, like, literally jam-packed. Like, you couldn't even breathe. Most of the time, people are waiting outside, and sometimes like they'll peek through the door and see if they get called up, and it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm staying outside, like that.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
how
Virus, you're up.
I like, and then
Your turn.
and I open the door with the cigarette in my right hand. I'm like, okay, give me a second.
Terminus didn't Terminus, because it was held like on one or two cabs, and you would
Yeah.
have 60 to 100 people sign up for like one game on one
Like,
cabinet.
oh god,
Terminus started earlier. Terminus would start like around 11 or noon, and then
Yeah.
they would last until like 2 or 3 in the morning.
yeah, because double.
And then we go out to eat afterwards. We all go out to eat afterwards. So I
Yeah.
don't think that's changed. That's
Yeah.
that hasn't changed. Over 20, 30
Yeah.
years.
I mean, even any game, because like I did the same thing for Initial D. We start early in the morning. Like us, it was like around like 10 o'clock. Because like we're gonna try to beat everybody in the FGC that went to their tournament, but we try to finish up early. But then we're like, oh god, like even the FGC guys are entering this game too. We're just like, oh man, and I go, well, more money for me, I guess. But yeah, yeah, I miss the arcade scene. I wish it would come back, but round one's actually kind of stepping up a little bit. We actually just got one over here last month, which shot the shit out of me. So hopefully it comes back. We'll see. But yeah, good little bit of background about you, Rotendo. Actually, we're actually going to go into FGC topics. It's actually brand new segment. I'm gonna do with you. So I'm gonna pull up my notes here. So guys, this is FGC topics of the week. So FGC topic of the week is Street Fighter 6 beta codes. So if you guys don't know, what was it? A couple of nights ago that these codes got sent out. If you signed up with on Capcom's ID
Yep.
website, and then you have to give them all the information and what platform you want to play on and stuff like that. Rotendo, did you get picked? Please tell me you got picked. Oh, damn it.
Come on. It's like, nope. I was like, when I first heard news that people, who get selected, I was like, I checked my email real quick. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I put the search Capcom ID. Maybe it's all down in there. I didn't see it, or maybe hit the spam filter.
Yeah.
No, nothing. I was like, no. I didn't get selected.
Yeah.
I wasn't chosen, and then the first thing I think of is that Toy Story meme where the alien is like, I've been chosen,
and then your Buzz
with the claw.
Yeah, and then your Buzz Lightyear going,
Yeah.
I love that so much.
I wasn't chosen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that you would think
Got
would get picked, whatever, but no one got codes. Don't know, so.
Well, I'm one of the lucky ones that got picked, but I actually gave my code away because I actually owe my buddy PJ a favor. So I go, here you go, buddy. Best Ibuki player on the West Coast. I don't care what anybody says. Buzz Lightyear, if you guys know him, he used to be Sergeant Slap-a-Ho, but he changed his gamer tag. He's gonna be using my beta code. So
That's a good thing for a T-shirt right there. Like Mimi posted betaless.
Yeah.
Get a T-shirt like betaless.
I'll buy one. So yeah, but
The Betaless Club.
Oh Jesus! So the topic I want to talk to you about is I know that this is a Killer Instinct channel, but we gotta talk about the FGC a little bit. We've been seeing codes going up on eBay for like a ridiculously amount of money. Like, I think the last one I saw, I think I posted up on my Twitter. If you guys have not followed me at Shadowvirus916, you guys can follow me on Twitter on there. I thought this was a joke. I'm like, there's no way people are buying these codes for that much. But then I actually went on eBay myself and typed in Street Fighter 6. That's all I typed. and I shit you not, Rotendo, a beta code was going for like 3 grand, and the ending sell was $3,800
Wow.
for a 3 day code. It's only gonna last for 3 days. Like, why?
I would say that I was surprised, but I am not surprised.
Yeah,
I mean, you've seen anything, sell for anything, especially if it's high in demand.
yeah,
Graphics cards, certain, CPUs when they first come out, and the scarcer it is, or the more harder it is to come by, the higher it'll fetch, regardless of regardless of anything.
mm-hmm.
And there's people out there that's willing to pay. So you can always count on the scarcity of an item, and you can always count on the people that are interested in and willing to pay anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
So not that surprised. And I think it's happened in the past, but doesn't really get blown up in social media as much as today. It seems like
Yeah,
today everything hits social media and it's like usually like a big deal. Everything is like a big deal, man. Everything that's social media.
yeah. But I'll, like I saw our buddy Ernesto Lopez, who does button check, posts this up a lot, and he's also a Texas native. Shout
Yeah, he's up
outs,
in Dallas. Yes, I just saw his video.
yeah,
Yeah, he just did a video on that.
yeah. So shout outs to Ernesto Lopez. I'm a big fan of his. Hope one day he comes on the show with me. Um, I'm a big fan of his work. Keep it up, Ernesto. Yeah, when I saw that, I went, "You have got to be kidding me!" Like, and then now, like, it's still continuing. It's like I just don't want to be that person, yeah, I do want to play it on my own instead of going to the office where my buddy works at and plays it. Like, I just want to sit at home and try it out myself. I did get a chance to play it a little bit because I'm NorCal and Bay Area's not that far away from me. Um, I only can tell so much. For those that have the beta codes, you guys are gonna be in for a surprise. So
Yeah, I wanted to play because I didn't get a lot enough hands-on time at Evo. Evo
Evo,
had it,
yeah.
and so I was with family this year,
Mm-hmm.
so I spent a lot of time in line, for other items and stuff, whether it's merch or what have you.
Yeah.
So I think I got to play twice, and I got to play with by myself, and then the second time I played with my son,
Oh,
and
that's good.
so I kind of took advantage when you're playing with someone, you can kind of like we kind of milked it. So I would win around, and then I would let him win around. So I
Around.
kind of utilized that extra time to kind of feel and play the game. And then so I would win this set, he would win the next set. We all go to like the final round
Yeah.
each, because I think it was set to like 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
So out of the 2 out of 3, games we played, we played all rounds, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to get any more time in, because we did other things in Vegas too. As a
Yeah.
family, you got to give them their time and do something. So we caught rides, like sightseeing
Yeah.
shows and things like that. So I was kind of hoping that if I did get the code, I'd get some more hands-on time.
Yeah.
Um, and then you have, I think the majority of the people in FGC that are competitive are really wanting, hands-on. They get like an advantage,
Yeah.
you know, but doesn't really make, excuse me, that much of a difference. Just like depends, it's like so you can have a heads up, a couple days ahead of everyone else, but it just really depends, So you spent like a week with the game,
Mm-hmm.
early before everyone else, and then that one person, like all that time that you spend and you're not winning. I guess it's it was really worth it. So are you willing to pay $3,000 to get 3 days of access to a game, so you can get your heads up on the competition, and then you still getting bodied
Yeah.
on on day one.
Yeah, to me that would be a waste of $3,000. But what when you played it at Evo, what was your first impression of Street Fighter Six?
I like the details of the character models.
Mm-hmm.
The background, the flow was very similar. So pretty much like most Street Fighter games, they're all the same. Once you played one, you kind of like get the feel
Yeah.
of them all. I was wanting to try out the new the drive mechanics. That's what I wanted to kind of figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I thought that was pretty interesting because I'm a big fan of Third Strike. So the whole
Yeah.
parry thing I wanted to kind of test out. But of course, my son wouldn't let me. So he's trying. He's trying to win. Kids. They're trying to. They're just
Yeah.
trying to
Of
to mash
course.
buttons or whatever. It's like, hold on, let me try this. So um, I did pull up maybe once. You got. You hold it down, which
Mm-hmm.
is it's a different execution. Other from Third Strike. First, I get to tap forward.
Yeah. Tap forward. Yeah.
So I wanted to do that. I like the whole alpha counter from the alpha series. There's a lot of elements from the older games that I really was excited for that I wanted to kind of try out.
Yeah.
That didn't get a chance to because when you're playing with someone, they just want to play. So that's more something that you do on your own time. If you had a beta key, you go into the lab and you kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if there's a time limit, there's a lot of different factors that plays into it. So, but my experience so far has been mostly positive,
Okay.
because kind of I like the flow. I know some people are saying like, oh, it's a Street Fighter 5 2.0. Um, well, what did you expect? You guys like
Yeah.
a completely whole new game mechanic. It's not gonna. I mean, how much better can you make a game? So I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, how much more can you improve on the formula? So I wasn't there to kind of nitpick on the game. I just wanted to test, the new mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got my full taste of it. I think it's fine the way that it is right now. For the guys that you guys hate Street Fighter Five, I'm kind of sorry. Street Fighter Six is kind of like Street Fighter Five in a way, but not really. But there's one mechanic I saw in there, and I wish it never came back. Was the focus attack,
Uh,
which they calling it. I think they're calling it drive focus or something like that. But to us, it's focus attack, and I'm just like, why would you do? Why would you bring?
FADC.
I go, why would you bring this back?
It was popular. Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually kind of liked it, but I never really put a lot of time into it to really uh, to maximize all the capabilities
yeah,
of FADC, especially with certain characters. So I play Sim. So it's really not that much you
yeah,
can do as far as like the properties that it gives, like the balance and whatever. It's not that much that you can do with Sim.
yeah,
So I didn't use it a lot. I didn't do a lot of focus, dash cancel, who's whatever. Um, but I thought it was pretty cool. It's a different concept. Adds to the gameplay,
yeah.
just like parry does. Parry adds a whole new element to the
Yep.
gameplay. Alpha when the Alpha series came out, the whole the rolling,
Mm-hmm.
the Alpha counters, those are all new different elements to gameplay, and now you have like everything all in one. This is
Why?
why I'm so excited
Yeah.
about Street Fighter 6, because you had all the cool things that I enjoyed for the previous games is all rolled
Oh,
up into one.
yeah.
That's why I am excited for it. I
Mm-hmm.
can care less about the graphics. I can care less about the characters. I just want to like get the all the the joy. I just want to have fun,
Yeah,
playing the game using these elements from the older Street Fighters.
yeah. I
And I do like to say something real quick because like
yeah. Go ahead.
I've switched between two characters, like Jamie and Rue.
Okay.
And with Jamie with the whole, I wanted to kind of, the drink
Yeah.
and see the power up. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay. You're gonna be using Jamie in the future.
I'll be using Jamie because um, the potential. It's like using Phoenix, right? And Marvel
Well,
3,
three.
where you have to level them up first, and it gets all crazy. So
Yeah.
um, I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun with the game. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for it, but a couple of our boys in the KI community actually got selected. So I mean, shout outs to Devil May Cry. I know he's gonna be streaming it tomorrow once it launches. So shout outs to him. I'm kind of glad that he got picked because he's been dying to get his hands on stream.
he's also part of the like the Capcom creators
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
So it would make sense. And if
yeah,
he did not get selected and got picked, I would have been upset, for him,
yeah.
because how are you on the Capcom creators thing
And
and
you don't get
didn't get
selected.
a code? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, just
that doesn't make sense either. So yeah. So guys, if you guys already have not followed Devil May Cry 4, he's gonna be streaming Street Fighter 6 tomorrow. So make sure you guys go check that out. And yeah, so just be careful what you guys get suckered into on eBay. So and another topic I want to talk about to you as well, before we get into Paragon. This certain situation has been happening for like a long time. It's just that um, it got worse, but then throughout the next day, it got better. For those that don't know, but most of you, all of you do know. But for the one that doesn't know, we've been having a hacker inside the KI rank lobbies where it's literally impossible to get into top 32. Like literally, like you get this one individual who will make multiple accounts and just pretty much cop block us from getting top 32. I mean, you can try all day, but then he'll just do a one push of a button and like he'll just make it literally impossible for us. So this has been happening. I want to say like almost a year, kind of. But we just kind of ignore it because at the time he only had like what, 3 accounts, I think, something like that. So I kind of ignored it, and I'm just like, whatever. I just want to play. So it didn't really bother me too much. So but for those that like really put the time and the grind in, because getting a top 32 is literally hard, especially like on the Xbox servers. Because like literally, if you get into like say 28 and then you're just like, okay, I'm set, I don't need to play on the last day. You better play on the last day because there are 10 guys that are right behind you and they'll take your spot in a snap of a finger. It's hard. But yeah, and then I guess Nikki logged in on rank one day, and rank was literally unplayable. Like we couldn't literally get in, and then our accounts got resetted to qualifier, and we're like, what's going on here? And then Nikki made a video saying, telling like his point of view, tagged in Maximilian, even the KI Twitter. Probably not even an hour, KI Twitter responded saying, we're looking into this right now. Next day, they were back up. So, shout outs to the KI team for actually taking their busy time, especially for like almost a 10-year-old game, and fixing the issue, and then they said our next step, we're dealing with the hacker. Can I get your take on that, Rotendo? Because I don't know. Like me personally, I don't care about rank. I just do it just to entertain my audience. They like to see
Right.
me. They like to see me get mad, or somehow, some way, I pull off a miracle against like a person with 20 stars, and I just tell my stream, see, stars don't mean anything. Let me get your take on like from what's been happening till now.
Sure. Okay. Well, I really don't play as much as I used to when it
Yeah.
first came out.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do play, I play for a couple games in, couple match, whatever.
Yeah.
And if I feel that this person should have won, then I find myself trying to play again, trying so I can pair up whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's no way I should have lost, whatever. But that
Yeah.
goes, if you don't play it for a while, you're not gonna you kind of lose
Your ranking. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not about like the ranking. I'm not. I've never really played ranked for to get a star. I didn't play ranked to get
Yeah.
like top 32. I never really put the grind in. I
Mm-hmm.
think the most I've played was maybe a couple hundred games. That a couple hundred may sound like a lot. I'm talking about like barely 200,
Yeah.
maybe three. But but that's actually pretty low. You see,
Yeah.
if you look at the leaderboards, these people they have like 500, 600 games played, whatever. It's ridiculous, and I
Yeah.
just don't have that kind. I just don't have that kind of time,
Mm-hmm.
to put in towards any game. That it's not just KI. Pretty much any game. Life
Yeah.
happens. Adulting. So you gotta be responsible
Yeah.
and whatever.
Of course.
um, but like what I do want to say it is kind of annoying when you're not able to access a certain feature in a game. And
Yeah.
as a former developer, we make these games, we develop games for people to have fun. They go home, relax, they want to relax, they want to enjoy playing, this
Mm-hmm.
game. They want to access a certain feature. And once that feature is unplayable, then you're taking time away from that individual. You're taking so much. It's much more than meets the eye. It's just, and it's annoying. You spend all
Yeah.
that time. You just want to play rank. You can play exhibition, but then again, the chances of you being paired up with another person on your skill level is not that high. In rank, at least you know that the chances of you playing against another killer or another gold, or
Mm-hmm.
it's up there. You're not gonna be paired with a qualifier. You might get like the one and two here and there, maybe a few
Yeah.
silvers, but most of the time you'll get paired with someone along your status.
Yeah.
Um, and this was brought to my attention because I hadn't been playing. This was brought to my attention by oh man, what's his name? He hit me and said, "Hey man, it's like, what can you about these servers? I'm getting like this syncing thing." And I think he was jump back on KI first in a long time. He was trying to play on a Series X. I said, "Well, yeah, I think the servers maybe I don't know. It's like maybe that." And I thought it was maybe like a console thing.
Yeah.
So I have experience with computers and what so I was using like my IT skills to kind of help him out. And it's like, try to reset this, hard reset, blah blah whatever. And it turns out that's when when we found out about the whole like rank being shut down or whatever. So well,
Mm-hmm.
that's where let me off the dust off my controller, and then so I can see I loaded KI to see if I can load in, and it took forever a while to kind of like the data whatever.
Yeah.
So I was able to get in. Let me see if I can get into rank. Went to rank, and then syncing data, like trying to find whatever. So it took forever. It took forever, and then it says like something about like the Xbox Live servers. So like, oh, okay, well, I guess this is legit. And
Mm-hmm.
then I saw Nikki's post. I saw a video. I was like, you know what? I'm part of this. Meet Nikki, Devil, um, Street, and I think there's someone else. We were part of this Street. network team or KI support task force or whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
years ago that James Goddard put together. I think and Brandon. I think Brandon was on the same team. And
Okay.
this was back when there were issue with lobbies and people dropping out of lobbies for tournament. This was a lot of like a lot of tournaments going on.
Yeah.
So the purpose of this Strike Force team was to kind of submit data of any issues with lobby so they can fix it. They can reset servers or whatever because
Mm-hmm.
Nikki was experiencing a lot of um, drops from people
Yeah.
in the lobbies running tournaments, as was other people. So we would go in there, hey, at this time, this is the size of the lobby, this is the name, and we would just shoot them the information, and they would take that information and they would either reset the server or whatever they would use that data for.
Okay.
So because I still had access to the email, whatever, I kind of hit up, I sent the email. I was, hey, I don't know if you're aware. This is what's going on. Can something be done about this research, whatever, So I did what I could on my end um, to see if something could be done. So I sent out an email. Um, sent an email, and I think I sent out like a Twitter or whatever. And then of course I did my share of sharing the the YouTube video, sharing the tweets, whatever, to bring more awareness to everything. And then it seems to have reached the correct personnel,
Okay.
and then it got fixed. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I think the whole situation kind of sucked because people only play KI. There's people that they just live and they love KI that much. That's just the only game they play, and they play in rank,
Mm-hmm.
and you're taking time away from that person, and that's crappy. Um, and then it's the fact that you have other people that they do mod stuff for the good, for the greater good.
Yeah.
We're finding, we're still finding cool things to do, changing properties, like the whole recapture.
Yeah.
So I think it was I keep forgetting his name, Anthony. I know his name's Anthony. But
Insightful.
yeah, Insight. So Insight, has these tutorials, whatever. He would make these mods, colored mods, and now he's experimenting with the game account, which is
Yeah.
great. I love the direction. This is the direction that this should be going towards. Is the discovery, or like making, freshing up a game. And so I saw the video to where Nikki is playing where I guess like you can call like the recapture KI recaptured
Yeah.
mode or whatever, where pretty much everything is like there is the recapture
Yeah.
knockdown it was bananas bonkers. But I thought that was pretty cool. That's a good way of utilizing your modding expertise,
Yeah.
you know, to bring more fun to a game.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reviving the game,
Yeah.
but they're doing something to prevent people from playing the game. That's a whole different
Yeah.
thing.
That.
That's a whole nother level. That's just crappy. You're a crappy person.
Yeah.
Whatever your issue is with an individual, you should be handled at on a one-on-one. Don't bring down everyone else, or don't try to like destroy what people love, because you have
Yeah.
some kind of vendetta against somebody or whatever. I don't, whatever the story is, whatever. I don't care. I don't care
Yeah.
what the reason is. I don't whatever this person hurt you or this whatever, or called your mom fat or skinny or whatever, or something, or I don't know. I don't care. It's like, dude, it's like there's better ways, and that just wasn't one of them because there's people that actually they're trying to earn like their first pro star.
Yeah.
To some people, it's a big deal
Yeah.
because they started playing the game a year, 6 months, or whatever time ago, and they put all this work and effort in, and they're grinding because they want to kind of like be the next Natalis, Nikki, whoever, and they're putting the time in, and it's like, oh, come, I want to get my pro medal. And to them, it means something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gatekeeping all these other people. So and after a while, what you're doing is you're causing you're then to stop playing. They're gonna stop playing, and you're gonna kill that drive. You're gonna kill that the pleasure of playing a game. and that just kind of sucks because KI has always been about welcoming new players.
Yes.
Now every time I'm playing, every time I get a chance to go and rank, and I see like a new person, these people like pro medals, like who is this guy? I've never seen this guy before, never heard of him before, and he has like 4 or 5 pro medals, and it's like okay, it's just he's pretty decent or whatever, So I see the birth of new players every time I log in,
Yeah.
which is great. It breeds, fresh competition. It breeds new life into the game,
Yeah.
and preventing people from playing the game, kind of kills the direction of that,
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is my how I feel. It just uh, it's not the right way, guys. Like, it's crappy.
Yeah. Well, at least the guys from Microsoft or whoever literally saw Nikki's video and it's like, we're gonna get to work on this right now, and I'm glad they did because it was like literally less than a day that they got rid of everything and saying like all your pro stars are still there, so don't worry, and everything is corrected. So shout outs to the KI team, whoever did that, whoever you are, thank you. You brought back rank for us. So yeah, that was like probably one of the biggest ones of this week because I mean, yeah, we've been dealing with it, but we were just kind of like ignoring it, if you say, until Nikki got on ranking. He was like, "Okay, I gotta say something," and we just spread that video all over the place. Like even like Nesto, Event Hubs posted about that. If SRK was still up, I'm pretty sure that they be posting that too. And then like a lot of people were getting our back. It's like, why would you hack, an old game like Killer Instinct? Like you should be hacking like like Street Fighter or Tekken, like games that are like are still in.
Yeah.
But like the point I'm trying to make is like they're like, wow, dude, you're like really like a douchebag.
It's the wrong way to get hired. If you're trying to get a job in the game industry, and get your name as it's the wrong way to do it.
Yeah,
Also, you're the guy that was responsible. Like, yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah,
Sorry. Out of all the candidates, you did not. You get the generic spiel. I was like, yeah, we had higher. We had other candidates with better qualification. With the generic,
yeah.
rejection email.
Or the wink in the gut.
Yeah. Oh, so you're the guy. Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, we had maximized already. It's no longer available, guys. Someone got hired
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah. Sorry about that. So yeah, but I'm glad that Rank is back with us. So yeah. So yeah, that's it for that topic. Let's get into the juicy stuff. The main reason why you're here. Paramount
Oh,
Gaming.
is that the reason why I'm here? Okay.
Well,
You
well,
trying to
well.
trying to get sponsored? No.
No, 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 no. Don't sponsor me. Do not. I'm so kind of with Chris at Ultimate Source. So Chris, don't kill me. Um, love you, Chris. Um, so Paramount Gaming, like all of a sudden, like that. I don't know if that company has been around for a while, and then well, look, first time I heard about them was when Nikki got signed. Like, I mean, shout outs to Nikki. I mean, what a year he has had. I mean, I can go back all the way to Twitch rivals, like uh, the almost the beginning of last year in 2001's when we did Twitch rivals. Maximilian had it on his channel, and man, what exposure we got on his channel! Like almost, I think we almost had like 80,000 people watching just for Killer Instinct on his channel, and then Nikki was one of the chosen ones because he streams that game heavily and probably one of the best players on the face of on the face of the earth. as of right.
One of the KI gods.
Yeah,
Yep. He's on
literally.
the Mount Rushmore of KI.
Yeah,
2013.
yeah. Well, I was about to say 2017 because that's when he was on a tear. Like every tournament he went to, he won it. There was only two people that cop blocked him. That was Thompson or Base. Those were those were the only two.
True. And I'm just saying, like I just don't in terms of like the game release and not confuse it with the original KI and KI2. So
Yeah.
not anything towards like tournament rampage and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but man, what a story he has had. Let's go back to Twitch rivals. Nikki literally got fourth place in that tournament, and this guy was suffering COVID-19. He's like, I can't see straight. I'm feeling like shit, but I'm still gonna play in this fucking tournament. And he literally got fourth place. And then he's in the chat saying, "Thank you, Mats. For everything. I tried my best, but COVID's really kicking my ass. But I got fourth place. I'm going to bed. See you." So shout outs to Nikki for going through that while he has COVID. Shit.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'm staying in bed. Pit somebody else to take my place. And then then after that he started. I wouldn't say not after that, but he has been doing his Patreon thing, where you can actually go onto his Patreon and get lessons from him. And he was doing that for like a good solid year. Still doing it, still to this day. The Patreon is still there. And all he was doing was just teaching people. And then when he streams, like he'll have like the open lobbies. He'll even show off his lessons and stuff like that.
It's totally worth it if you're looking to not just get into KI, but to find a mentor that will help you, elevate your game and kind of help you out with certain characters. That's like the perfect person to do so. So if you're looking to really like advance your skill set in the game, and YouTube videos and that stuff, it can take you so far, but with the one-on-one, I think it's I'm not sure if it's one-on-one or anything, but when you have someone there, kind of coaching you and telling you why you should do this and why you shouldn't do that, and kind of breaking things down, it makes things a lot easier rather than trying to figure things on your own, because you're saving so much time. You're saving like weeks or months of hitting the lab, and it's all condensed in hours.
Yeah, and then because he might see something that you're not seeing. That's always good. And then Nikki was doing that for a full year, and then all of a sudden you and him, you're helping Brandon doing the qualifiers for the KI World Cup tour. Shout outs to both of you guys, because I know that tournament was kind of a headache. Dealing with all those players and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I only entered one. I got 13th place. Insightful cop blocked me from game points, but it is what it is. But then KI World Cup actually happens, and everybody thought Alex was gonna win. Literally, a lot of people said Alex was gonna win, but then also I can name another player, Night Slash. I'm sorry, Nikki, but Night Slash got MVP of the whole entire tournament. He literally took out.
Yo, you saw that meme I made?
The Great Reaper. Yes.
He took out all the top people, the top four that was for the whole year.
Yeah.
The whole year, in points, he took him out. He's like the Chronicle base. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy, he might end up doing it.
Yeah,
we were just, I think it was on the stream. He was playing a certain match or whatever, and was joking around. I was like, hey, you got this. You're gonna make top 8 or top 3. And I was joking around, and he was tearing through top 8. It was ridiculous.
he was tearing through everybody, and nobody picked him to win. And then not only that, the first person he takes out in top 8 was Alex V. The guy who literally won every freaking online tournament, know the man. I mean, I love you, Alex, but dude, Night Slash came to win. But
The
then,
whole everyone's
yeah,
everyone's every. It feels like if this is like the final four and you had what's it called? What's it called?
the final
The
four.
dream thing. If you had that, your bracket. If you had a bracket, your bracket was busted that first game.
Oh
Done.
Jesus, yeah, yeah. Nobody expected
Ev-
that, but then nobody expected Nikki to win the whole entire thing. Nikki got slept on because you gotta remember Nikki. I don't know if Nikki was training himself for KI World Cup because he did qualify for it. He did,
Okay.
but we every time we see his streams, he either has his UU lobby or he's teaching somebody. He's not playing on his own. He's literally like
Yeah.
helping somebody out. So I think
And in turn, that was training too. It's like the Ocean
yeah,
University thing, and like a lot of his people, like the in the Ocean, and they all you see they leveled up, and
yeah.
they're all doing placing very well
I
in a lot
want
of these
I
tournaments.
want to say at least six. I want to say like 5 through 7 of them in UU were all in KI World Cup. Yeah, I mean, guys, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. But honestly, I wasn't expecting Nikki to win that whole entire tournament. I wasn't. But then, we all logged into Nikki's stream and he was popping off and we said congratulations. But have you noticed something, Rotendo? What happened to Rico Suave when he won Evo? He won KI World Cup
Very well.
That following year. What
That's
happened?
that's that that's the trend.
Hold
That's the
on,
trend.
hold
You
on.
win Evo, you see the percent the chance of you winning, the Care World Cup.
Yeah,
It's there. We saw it with Rico, and then
yeah.
we saw it
With
with Sleep.
sleep, and then now we've seen it with Nikki. But Nikki won it back. I think that was like 2018.
18, 2018.
Yeah, because you and Menzo, you guys were commentating top four. I remember watching that, and shout outs to you guys for holding down KI at Evo. Yeah, Nikki won it, and then we were still going through the phases like when's KI World Cup, and then Brandon finally announced it, and then Nikki goes on and wins the whole entire thing. And then after KI World Cup happened, Nikki gets sponsors by Paramount Gaming, which came out with a really cool trailer for Nikki, like literally building Nikki's full
Yo,
gore,
that was
coming
sick.
out of the chamber, and then they put the monitor up and then Fulgore's looking at the monitor and showing all Nikki's fights and stuff like that. I was like, wow, dude. And then also, I think it was like a couple of months, maybe a month after you became the team manager for them, for the FGC. Did you?
No, no. Okay, so okay, let me get like back. So not like a team manager per se.
Okay.
I'm more of the community events coordinator. It was
Oh,
like a
okay.
tail. So when okay, so now we're getting to Paragon.
Yeah.
Let's talk Paragon now.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, it was under it's a new org
Okay.
that started off with my buddy, Jeremy, and I we go way back. Him and Mimi and a couple other people. We go way back when we were with Naventic. So if you're familiar with Naventic,
Okay.
it was a big esports a couple years back. We had a team that was doing pretty well with I think it's like Overwatch or whatever. And we
Okay.
had our FGC team. We had Flash. We had and we had a Smash player. Uh, I think we ended up like whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Long story short, the Ventic, we left the Ventic, we all kind of left, like
Mm-hmm.
we all like left. And then years later, after other orgs and stuff, say, hey, I'm starting this new org. He's still doing the esports thing and building up that experience. And then when I learned that he was have his own a new org and everything. I was really interested, and hey, so this is where we are right now. It's not official, we can have like a,
Okay.
a new name. So it wasn't Paragon. It wasn't Paragon yet. It was under a different name.
Okay.
And the idea was, hey, this is what it's all talks about the direction for the org. The plans of a hybrid, um, tournament where there's local and online,
Mm-hmm.
which is I think is pretty cool. To where if you can't make it to like a physical like land center to participate, you can still enter, online. So it's kind of like it's a whole different talks and different ideas kind of thrown around,
Oh, okay.
and players and whatever. All this stuff has been kind of like been in fruition. So a lot of things have been in place that just came in more as an advisor slash, consultant on a couple of things because from my esports and my experience in the FGC, and then so I wasn't, well, I was on board, but it wasn't like officially announced. So it was more like on the back end.
Back end, yeah.
And then so hey, we're thinking about having, we want to do KI. So what do you think? Who do you think? Whatever. And I was like, okay. At the time, I was like, I know we have nice lash distance, all these great players,
Mm-hmm.
and this and that, and you know, because I wasn't active, competitively,
Yeah.
I don't know who's like the old number one, who's has sponsored, who's like deserving, whatever. So I sought out to the man, the myth, the legend, Nicky himself. Hey man, I said, look, it's like this is the deal. We're doing this. We're thinking about, you know, looking for a player in the KI, and I know you've been competing this and that, whatever, and you're more familiar with all the new players and who's more consistent, and who's deserving shot, whatever. And if you're interested, like if you want, whatever, I know what you got going on, so that's how the conversation kind of went.
Okay.
And then it's like, yeah, like I'm down, for sure about whatever. It's like, cool, so um, that's how that went. And, we kind of put him first, we got, hey, he was important to us
Okay.
because everything that he was doing for the community. So it's like, look, we're gonna make this announcement. And everything's been kind of like, as you know, with most orgs, whatever, there's always like a timeline. There's all these other things going on.
Yeah.
And so, okay, well, this is the plan. This is back in 2021. So, like, the end of 2020, we had planned to make an announcement, like, I think January. But then that got delayed because we had to finalize this and that. And this is more like above my pay grade, you know. So I will spare you with those details. So there's things that had to happen, take place first before
Yeah.
announcements could be made. So finally, when that was done and artwork, whatever, then he was announced, and I was like so happy. I was like, man, that trailer was sick. I was like, oh my god. And
Who?
then later on, they made it, announcement for me. Hey, and well, welcome. Well, I've
Yeah.
always been. I mean, I've always been in this. I've always been here, but it was like now, like like
Yeah.
official announcement. Um, and to me, it's not like a big deal. My overall goal is to kind of help,
Yeah.
players, deserving
Players.
players,
Yeah.
people that are hungry. I've seen a lot of people in the past get screwed over with bad deals, this is whatever. So my thing has always been about giving back to the community,
Yeah.
helping out, deserving, players. Perfect example, Chris G. He ended up winning, Marvel at Evo layer. He wasn't going to go, and I wanted to kind of, he deserved to go. He needs help, and if you heard the story, I was the one responsible
Yeah.
for that. So I'm all about helping deserving individuals, and I couldn't think of anyone much more deserving than Nikki.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that he was down to kind of to join, and glad to have him on board. So Nikki, thank you for everything that you've done, everything that you've done for the community, and not just community, but giving back and helping, uh, the support and kind of displaying, or not displaying, but presenting yourself and presenting
Hmm.
Paragon.
Yeah.
Because he's he represents what we're trying to strive and do for not just uh, one person, for everyone, so at that, so
Yeah.
eventually we get there to a point to where we can help out everyone. But yeah, so pretty much in a nutshell, you know, um, yeah, that's pretty much like a little quick backstory.
Yeah, I mean, what a neat year Nikki had. He's showing up to Texas Showdown, winning the whole entire thing. And then also at the end, calling out Chronicle, and I go, man, what you turn this into a WWE event now? I'm getting excited for this. And then it probably not even like 5 minutes later, because Kron was watching, and he posted a tweet showing his Conor McGregor, or should we say Kron McGregor. He's like, "I'll see you at Combo Breaker," and I was
I think he was supposed to go or had wanted to go
to Texas
to this
Showdown.
the Texas Showdown. I
Yeah,
was really hoping to see him because hold on just yeah.
take your time.
So, are you streaming? No, I'm in a friend's show. It's TV show.
What up, buddy?
People are watching it. What's up? What you need? Can I be famous? You can be famous. You can take your shower, get it out the way before bed. Huh? Yeah. And then you shower after that, okay? Okay. Oh yeah. Go away. um. So anyway, who we talking about? The Chronicle.
Yeah, Chronicle. Yeah.
So, the Chronicle has been another player. He's always been there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like in the past, I want to say the past 3 years, he's really been, stepping up and grinding. It's like he's been like, playing at a crazy, ridiculous level and showing all stuff with you can do with Arya and all the other player. I think I've played him once or twice online, uh, like a first time, and then like I played it like it was like a final. It was like a small online tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So I played it in winners final, got bodied.
Oh, that
So
was
I
what
used to.
that was Wednesday Night Fights. That's the tournament
Oh
I
yeah, was
hosted.
it okay? And then the grand finals, and then because that's like okay, I didn't really because I never really played an Arya like his before, so I was
Mm-hmm.
like I didn't know what to do, and then he was freaking counter breaking, he was combo breaking everything, and then counter breaking everything. It's like man, I was like that really kind of like really like threw me off, and then so but yeah, ever since me experiencing that experience alone, and then seeing him do well on his other turns, like yeah, this is the guy. Uh, and then I'm looking back at old pictures. I'm looking at back pictures from Common Break, all these old tournaments, and he's there. He's
Yeah.
there in the background. It's like, yo, he's. I was like, I didn't know he was at this tournament, and it's like, yeah, it's like, I was here, picture out this year is when I started traveling, whatever, which is awesome. You find I'm kind of like a historian and some sort because you always see me taking pictures on
Mm-hmm.
videos or whatever and I look back and I've been doing this since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like they have like the digital 8 tapes
Oh my
tournaments
god.
with camcorder. So I have footage of Justin. I have all these players from back then, whatever.
there's actually
And
there's actually a picture of you right behind Justin Wong while he's playing Marvel 2, and it's you right behind
yes,
him with the
that's
video.
the yes, game time. That was like the final game time. So the story with that was game time was one of those. It's like eight on a break. It's like all these famous arcades in the U.S. It was a big time, popular small arcade
Mm-hmm.
on the East Coast and in Virginia, North Virginia. I drove like 5 6 hours just for that tournament because it was like a big one. Everyone was going to it, and it was like the last one, and then like Justin, all these people was gonna be there. So, um, Alexandria, Virginia, and so I had my camcorder, had all these tapes, and I was recording. I have all these matches still. I don't think I only have the one. I had that the finals on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
with him and Sanford playing. But I played Sanford, I played Ricky, I played all like casuals, like
Yeah.
half the team. I played casuals and I was getting, but they was taking turns, so they let me stay. They let, this is how messed up. This is how messed up it was. And this is how good like the New York team at the time, or they are still is that I think I was the only one still playing. Everyone was playing. It was kind of like winding down, going home, whatever. I was still playing, and I stayed, and they would just alternate. And they'll come in and they'll play each other's teams, whatever. Looking, so I'll play Ricky, and they'll switch and they'll tag in Justin. He'll play, and I'm playing my. I'm getting wrecked by everyone, whatever. And I was like, man. And of course, I don't think I was. It's like me and a couple other people, so they would just like take turns using the same team. And that's not like they're like focused. It's like they all can play each other's teams at that high level. That's crazy. Um, so in a sense, I kind of see like the KI community is kind of there. You have some people that can, kind of, but it's different. It's a
Yeah.
different game. But yeah, back to that picture. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
And so I would take pictures. I go back and I say, is that Maximilian? With a baby face and short
Yeah.
hair. Yeah, so I have a picture. I have a picture of Maximilian from way back, Evo 2007. Yeah, 2007, I think.
Hmm.
And back when he was just, he had no beard,
Yeah, he was just
whatever. I was like, that's Maximilian. Pre, celebrity
yeah.
stand-up.
Nobody didn't know who he was back then. I mean, some
Yeah,
people knew who he was, but like he wasn't like the Maximilian that we know.
yeah. And then, like a lot of people, like like I knew a lot of people from both coasts.
Hmm.
So for me, it was no Star Trek, or starstruck thing. It's like
Yeah.
so I'm like I see them as ordinary people. So oh, that's so and so. Oh, that's you know, and you're in NorCal, so you know a lot of the
Yeah.
NorCal players and stuff. You know Alex Valle and stuff. So
Yeah. Alex Valle
they're
is
just
SoCal, but I bumped into him, and what an awesome dude. Grandpa Valle, ladies and gentlemen.
dude, it's ridiculous, man. It's like people have kids and
I know.
married and whatever.
Yeah, him and John. Him and John. Jesus.
But yeah, what we on? Uh,
So we were on Kron.
yes, the Chronicle.
Yeah.
Um, and a couple other players, based on like my whole historian thing. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's how we got.
so Nikki was on Paragon, and then you got announced a little bit after that. But then we also saw the our good voice of Killer Instinct, who also was on Paragon for a little bit.
Yes, Curtis,
Zipmaster.
Zipmaster.
So what
Yeah.
what was the deal bringing Zip in?
I don't have, like I said, a lot of stuff like outside my pay. My area was.
Yeah.
I'm more about the whole tournament and community like or
Mm-hmm.
events uh, area.
Okay.
So that's my field. I'm like the coordinator, whatever, coordinating these events and stuff. Um, and as far as with Zip, I believe because of his ability to commentate,
Yeah.
games. It was like Brawlhalla, you can commentate KI and a couple other stuff. I don't know the extent. Like what I heard about, I was kind of surprised. Like, oh snap, welcome to the team.
Yeah.
I didn't know you. What do you? It's not like what are you doing here? So like, I was like, oh, cool. I don't think I know he wasn't there as a player because at that point, he's doing more
Yeah,
commentary
he's doing more
for these
commentary.
events. So I think it was more of a commentary thing. But like you're asking the wrong person.
Okay.
You need to ask, McLam. You need to ask, yeah, Jeremy. Or I mean, they would have the correct answer. But like I said, I'm pretty sure
Oh
it's
shit.
like the
They're
commentary staff.
oh shit.
They're both in the chat.
Yeah, they're
The
both
boss,
in the chat.
yeah, the boss is in the chat.
I better be careful what I say now.
Um, yeah,
But
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's more of a commentary thing. and he was
Yeah.
getting more exposure, and he was doing bigger things for Brawlhalla.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that may be why. I think maybe conflict of interest. You know how like different orders, if you some orders have it in the contract where
Mm-hmm.
you can't be with more than one organization, whatever.
Yeah.
You either them or the other, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is it kind of sucks how it's like that. And if you're trying to um, get more exposure for yourself
Yeah.
and build your own personal brand, it's like no, well, you can't, you can't work for Honda and Ford at the same time. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like that. But like I said, I don't know the details. I don't know if that was the reason. I'm as clueless as you are. All I know that it was cool to have him on the team.
Of course.
Another person in Texas, another person that played KI, and that was kind of great. And then I saw that he had left, and now he's with the Brawlhalla whatever
Yeah.
team, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So but I couldn't give you a correct answer. I just don't know the full details.
Yeah. No. No worries, man. I mean, not. I mean, shout outs to Curtis. I mean, he's been our commentator for God knows how long.
And
You know.
he got kicked out because he was hanking ranking.
Yeah, he was. But he's literally one of those commentators. Yes, this guy knows what he's talking about, but he'll literally can beat anybody. I don't know if you saw the Nikki the 10v10 Nikki versus Kron team. Zip was putting in work, dude. I was like, damn, this guy still has it.
Okay, yeah,
So
there's fun. I guess he wanted to do his own thing. Like I said,
yeah,
sometimes you want to, build your own, your branding and stuff.
yeah.
So I guess, yeah, so he wanted to do his own thing, which is
That,
cool. Like that's what we all want for each other. We want everyone to succeed and to grow. It's what we support each other, right? We all support one another, and Devil doing his thing with the whole
yeah,
3v3.
with the 3v3,
Um,
yeah.
Brandon with the whole KI World Cup, which is that's one thing that we all look forward to, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who else? Steven, Aphex with his series. You have the baby Trish. No, Trash Baby,
Trash babe.
Trash Baby,
On Atomic
doing their
Weekly.
tournament, Atomic Weekly doing their tournament. And you have man, so many people. Alex doing his music thing. So in a way, he's doing things to help the community, but it's all through like the music background, but it's also playing.
Yeah.
So there's so many people, so many moving pieces that we're all starting to grow and do our own things, and that's what you want. This is what I've always believed about the FGC is the the building
Mm-hmm.
the building of a community and the growth of community. I think I've put out like an article on how to build a community and grow, and it was a featured thing on SRK way back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was on the front page and everything
Oh, I
and whatever. It's
remember.
pretty cool.
I actually remember reading that.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
how to build, whatever.
Yeah.
Because like when I moved back from California to Texas, there was a scene here. It wasn't that scene, and then I kind of like put my,
Mm-hmm.
my expertise or whatever because I've been on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I was on the West Coast,
Coast.
and I had the military knowledge, and I put it all into one.
One.
And it's like this is what you need to do. This side, and so Colleen, back in the day, they weren't really kind of no. When you hear Texas, what name me three cities in Texas did you hear that you think of?
Well,
Name three Texas cities.
Dallas, San Antonio, and El Paso.
And when it comes to fighting games, what cities comes to mind?
San Antonio.
San Antonio, is that it?
That's the only thing that can ring a
Okay,
bell for me.
good. Okay, so as an example, you know, here people here in Texas, when you hear Jan's from Houston, Stone's from Houston, Rubik's Houston. You got players from Dallas, players from San Antonio, and so you hear all these, in Austin, the Austin known for the anime, Third Strike, and Street
Mm-hmm.
Fighter.
Okay.
Viet. And I can go off and off, but as an example, as someone that's in Texas, you hear of these other cities, but you don't hear about, the small whatever. There's talent. Texas is chock full of talent.
Yes.
And so it's like, it's like, why is everybody talking about these other towns? We have players too. It's like, there's players here that can take out players from these other whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
with my whole fundamentals of building whatever, I got these kids that were like seniors in high school, and we were playing with these kids and got them to a point to where, hey, let's go to Austin, let's go to Arcade UFO, let's go here, or there's having a tournament here. So I got them into the habit of traveling, going to tournaments, entering tournaments, and so they started to put not just the town on the map per se, but also their names. So now you hear Ray, you hear Stealth. Stealth is from Killeen,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's actually from Killeen. So he started playing with us when he was 14. So
Oh,
we had
Jesus.
a local like tournament gaming center that a buddy of ours started, and then so his parents would drop him off. He's 14 years old, and we were back then it was like MK9.
Okay.
So he was playing AK9, and like even on button check, he was going full, whatever, like it was like actual tournaments. Like, calm down, button checks. But for example, he developed, because he was around, we had that kind of like the community. We had,
Yeah.
the I guess you could say the mentorship from myself and other older, veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We had all the mentorship and we kind of pushed these younger players like, hey, this is what you need to do, and it's not just video games, but it's just about like everyday life. So we all
Yeah.
had full-time jobs. We were like either retired or we were veteran in the military or we have our own business. So they saw this is what they saw in us. We saw that we had family, we had this or whatever. So they see that, first, we had like, prioritize your personal stuff, and then we had games, and it's all what we did for games. And so I like to say that we had a great like mentorship atmosphere for these players. And now they all have gone to college, they've gotten degrees, gotten good jobs working at Amazon or Apple here in Austin,
Mm-hmm.
or they've joined the military. So they all went on. They've grown and became successful in their own
Oh,
right.
right. Mm-hmm.
They became great players. They win in tournaments. They're winning, majors. They're traveling, putting their names up there. It's like, hey, where are you from? Oh, from Clean. Oh, I know exactly. Oh, yeah, you're from Clean. So back then, you're like, Clean, where's Clean? You got to tell them, oh, well, Austin's at, right? Well, if you
Yeah.
travel an hour north, it's a little town, whatever. But now like Texas people would know like okay, cool. And that all came from, building,
Yeah.
that little community, and then it's a work in progress. You have to kind of do it right. You have like, um, kind of lead. I guess you have to lead and you got to mentor the younger generation. And then so when they grow up and you're out the scene and you're doing your own thing, that's what happened was I was working in Austin, working on video games, and then so now there's no one there to kind of really take the reins. And but like someone always kind of like, well, they step up because that's how you kind of like you build your community. You have someone there that kind of would develop and grow,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll take over and then do the same thing. That's how you build a community. And then you kind of, you know, not just focus on video game. Video games is great.
Yeah.
Everyone loves video games, but there's other more important things, and this is, family. So you have the family aspects too. You take care of each other.
Yeah.
You're supposed to take care of each other. My dad passed away 11 years ago, and so I was working on Star Wars, the Old Republic at Bioware in Austin, and so I was like, man, it's like I had to find a way to get to Virginia
Mm-hmm.
for the funeral service, and it's like, man, I gotta get there early. I don't get paid yet, whatever. My wife wasn't working at the time. She wasn't working because she was really sick,
Yeah.
as you're aware of. And then so it's just like it's really, like financially it was really hard. My dad passed away. It's like I needed to find a way up there. And
Yeah.
then so the community, my we call it, the KTB, the K Town
Yeah.
brawlers. Uh, so they all came up and they put money together, all the people and say, hey, we came up with, X month, a couple $100, for you to catch a flight, whatever. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then so we did the same thing, so we celebrated birthdays, we had barbecues and stuff at each other's houses, the kids, if there's kids, whatever,
Yeah.
they all know each other, whatever. That's a community.
Yeah.
And that's how you build a community. It's like it's a growth, you know? Um, and then it just develops there. And it's like, like I say, it goes beyond the whole video gaming thing. Um, but nothing stronger than, say it, family.
The
Like
family.
the Toretto, from Fast and Furious,
Jesus.
I
That made.
was kind of hoping you, but
Oh
yeah, but for
man.
real, family's the big thing. It's like, this is, I see the whole FGC as a family.
Yeah.
So I do that. I've been trying to do my best to kind of give back, to not just the local community, but then like the whole FGC. If I see someone doing some kind of donation stream because they're looking, to get funded for, you know, pay a plane ticket or get a room, whatever, I'll try to do what I can
Yeah.
to contribute. Um, if I have money, like I'll throw in some money. And you see me, do what
Yeah.
I can. I throw a couple bucks here and there. Um, and you don't have to be rich to that. $5, $1.50 goes a
Yeah.
long way. Um, share, a like or whatever
Yeah.
means so much, and that's something that we need to kind of like push
Hmm.
everyone else to kind of say, look, you know, you do everything comes full circle, So I like to believe everything comes full circle,
Hmm.
So if you help them, eventually when you're in need, you'll find that help, So you'll find someone that's willing to kind of whatever because you've been given back to the community. So
Yeah. I mean, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, like, you always helped us in the past, and we always said thank you to you. You're pretty much like the main reason why this game still exists in our lives and why we have this still as a tournament base and we can still have it at Evo somewhat, and then we
yeah.
still have KI World Cup because I know you always try to push that like really really hard for us, and then we also try to back you up on that too as well. As us all of us in the KI community.
Right. But more importantly is this is not just one person thing. It's other um,
Yeah,
people that contributes to that too. You have the Brandons, you have the the Devil McCares, you have the
hmm,
Nickies, you have the Trash Babies, you have those that are coming up and doing things too.
yeah,
It's like I said, it's a community, and I like to think that you have these other people in the community that they don't see themselves as leaders, but they are leaders.
hmm,
And as soon as they kind of realize, hey, I am kind of a somewhat of a leader in the community, don't they need to step up and not be shy and kind of help. Like you
yeah,
could do so they like they just don't know they have like so much power. If they just kind of like try to step up and I know it's not easy coming out your shell or you're kind of
yeah,
like the quiet type.
yeah,
Because I'm still kind of like that, but I've more experience at trying to get things done.
yeah,
But I was there too, where I wouldn't kind of like do and say anything. But if people look at you as a peer, whatever, you have a voice, and that voice is really loud. Like Nikki,
yeah.
if Nikki wasn't up here, who knows
What will
what
happen
would
to
have happened.
rank?
Yeah, it's like people, who else would have stepped up.
Yeah,
um if Nikki didn't step up, who do you think would have been the person to do it? And I right now I couldn't think of anyone.
no,
Maybe Devil would
yeah,
have said something. I know I saw Carnitas put a video out there. So there's a few people, um, but I think there's a lot more that they don't feel that they have a voice, but you do have a voice.
Yeah.
You do have a voice, and it just if you do your share, it's gonna greatly help the community as a whole.
Yeah.
But you said that it's not gonna happen overnight. I don't expect that to
Yeah.
start tomorrow and everyone share everything and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's something that
You gotta work
it
for it.
takes time to develop and work on. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like with me. I'm just the guy who gives out color codes. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm good for. So.
Speaking of color codes, look, look, I have a few that I was sent by Chris way back,
Okay.
and I distribute. I think I talked to you about this earlier.
Yeah.
So I distributed mostly. It's crazy. I was checking back to see if they still worked,
Yeah.
and all the Hisakos that was given, they're gone. Like at the time, I
Yeah.
think it was like 2018 or at the time, Hisaka was the one everyone wanted for some reason. Because
Yeah.
I checked my list, and it's like I had no Hisaka color tints.
Okay.
They're all gone. But I had like Spino, I had Full Wars,
Mhm.
Jagos. It's like man, it's like why? It's like why was everyone asking for Hisako at the time? It was, she was the soup of the day, I guess, back
Yeah.
then.
She was. Like
But
even I didn't understand it. I was like, "Why do you guys want that color? It's just a blue with the yellow details on them."
but more importantly, we have insight. Say hey, so if
Yeah.
you can't get the color codes,
Yeah.
you can at least mod the color any color
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah. He
So
actually.
you want a zebra skin, you get the zebra skin. Just ask him for help.
Or you want that classic otaku robe? He'll do it for you. So, and I'm just like, "Hey, Chris, I need a refill." But yeah. Um, let me see here. Let me look at my notes. So, another question. Where's Paramount Gaming going from now? Because like I see you guys have been tearing it up in Smash and Guilty Gear lately. So,
And Tekken, don't forget Tekken.
and Tekken. I mean,
Tekken.
because like I was brainstorming through your guys' Twitter for the past couple of days, and man, you guys are kind of killing it. I mean, I see Flash wrecking people. Like, where you guys go
I,
from
I
here?
I believe, like I said, I'm not the boss, whatever, but I believe that the plan is we are looking, at the future of the
Mm-hmm.
FGC in terms of Street Fighter Six.
Yep.
You got Tekken 8 coming out. DNF Duel is the game
Yeah.
that's being played.
Play.
You have the new what Project L.
Yeah.
So this is a good time for fighting games.
Yeah.
So right now, we're looking into the future as far as okay, well, when these games come out, you know, uh, there's gonna be players that's gonna stand out
Yeah.
and stuff. And obviously, it's not just it's every org that has like a decent roster. They're gonna want to pick up players. So it's gonna be I think the same strategy for the most part. I wouldn't even say I wouldn't even call it strategy. I wouldn't say like more like a game plan. It's all
Okay.
based on the directions,
Yeah.
of an org, whether you want to keep it small or you want to expand.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not the
Higher
the
up.
higher rep that's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
But I do know that we are. There have been talks. There have been talks that okay, well, this person has suggested this person.
Mm-hmm.
So names have been kind of thrown around, and things like that, which is really interesting because
Okay.
that tells you that there's growth and everything. That's always good for an organization. Um, Tournament wise, we I don't know if I can I don't know if I can say this or not.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But I don't know. I do know that we've been working with another entity.
Okay.
on a project, on a project
Hmm.
and stuff. So I'm not sure if I can, whatever, if this looks like a huge announcement or whatever. So I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
But I do know we have plans to kind of help the FGC. So it's gonna
Okay.
help. It's gonna help the FGC. It's kind of like a cool thing. I was really interested in hearing what the plan was. So whether that has been made public or not, I don't know. This entity, they have players too, known players, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. Um, but yeah, the future's looking pretty good
Yeah.
for us. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be reunited with you know longtime friends.
Yeah.
We've worked well together in the past. We all have the same aspirations as far as what we want an org to be and what we want for the players.
Hmm.
Um, so we want the players to be treated for get their share because we've experienced with the past org that we was with that they weren't paid or this and that. This
Yeah.
happened, a lot of drama and stuff. We weren't really it's the reason why a lot of us left because of the poor management.
Yeah.
And of course we want to do better
Yeah.
than what we experienced,
Yeah.
if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
I get you on that one. Well, okay, that's crossed off. All right. So, no, we're really about to hit almost like the 2 hour mark. I don't want to keep you here for too long,
Oh, because
Rotendo.
I got a chili cheese dong from Sonic's that I need to dive into.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
but yeah, and the time is good, because like you're helping out my kid. He's like, my dad's occupied in the shame. I'm gonna go watch TV. I'm playing. Well, he doesn't play. He's not allowed to play video games until like the weekends. It's the
Oh,
school
okay.
week. He can't play games, so I don't have to worry about that. So right now he should have taken a shower. So
Yeah.
but
So,
he's how kids are when you're not really like present. They try to
present
kind of like push the envelope and stuff. Wait, let me see if I
tip
can. I'm supposed to
tiptoeing.
take my shower. I'm supposed to be taking my shower, but let me watch five more minutes of this or that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But
Um,
yeah, some of this is bedtime, so I can go, do some parenting, and then I'm gonna eat, and then I gotta patch this hole.
yeah.
if you if you've been following, I do have an Instagram, so it's Rotendo. If you're one of those people that have Instagram and whatever stuff, I have an Instagram, and most of my content is there. It's I post DIY stuff, a lot of computer stuff, gaming stuff, and maybe some like health and fitness, which is nothing I will caveat to in a bit because I want to touch on that like real quick. Um, but yeah, so lately, new house, I've been doing a lot of like projects and stuff. So I was adding some new lights in the other garage because
Hmm.
I have a three-car garage, so like the smaller garage. I put off putting these new LED, lights in there because during summer it's got hot. So now that is cool. I was put away some boxes. Like, let me just take care of this real
Yeah.
quick and knock out this project. I was done, and I was like, okay, finish drilling the last hole. Put the light in. Boom, call it a day. Taking my tools, hold on to it. So if you're not familiar with um, some attics and stuff, not all attics have flooring. So
Yeah.
they
A
have
lot of them
beams,
don't.
and you have to be careful. You can't just step on the drywall or the insulation because
They'll support.
there's no support, so you fall through. So I'm holding on to like the rafters one hand, and I'm stepping on beam to beam, and I have like tools, everything in one hand, and I guess I had like some sawdust on my shoes, whatever, and I was stepping on this when it slipped, and as I was trying to catch and find another footing, it I missed the other like beam of the two by four, and it hit the sheetrock. And I
Hmm.
guess because of the weight, because I'm so fat, because of the weight, kind of like it was a bit too much. It felt it kind of like it did one of these kind of like fell through.
Oh
But I
shit.
was able to catch myself. So it was like the reflexes, like like spider sense. So drop the tools. What I had here is able to kind of like catch myself. Just
Yeah.
as I was going down, so I was able to in here, and then my other feet was still on the other thing, so I was still good. So I was like, I had one feet on the beam here, this feet was like
Yeah.
poking through here, and I was like, God darn it, whatever. I was pissed. I was like, man, I look down. I was like, and then like I saw like my foot got all like scraped up real good and stuff. But yeah. So anyway, I finished that. I kind of cleaned up myself. Finished putting lights on. Like it looks great. By the way, if you look at the lighting, it's a lot much better. You'll see a Marvel 2 showcase cabinet in the garage too. Uh,
Nice.
which I'm getting the Marvel 2 cabinet soon. Hopefully it comes in.
Nice.
Um, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I already cleaned it up. Whatever. They're still doing construction of the new homes. Oh, actually over here, new buildings and stuff, new houses. So I was there
Oh,
during
okay.
my lunch break. I was like, hey, you got any spare whatever? So, oh yeah, we're done. These are all like it's a pile of sheetrock, drywall. Just these are all drywall. So I just found a piece that was the right size. It's only like 2 by 3, so it's not, excuse me, not that big of a gap, whatever. So I'm gonna do that later tonight. Just patch it up,
Hmm.
and then just could leave it like that. It just kind of sucks because it's a new house. Now there's a freaking hole.
Oh.
So, but I said I was gonna touch up on the health and fitness, and so yeah, on Instagram, um, when I was working out, and I had like an issue with breathing stuff, and then other crap, other boring stuff that's not really interesting. Anyway, um, you lost like all this weight. Yo, kudos, man.
Yeah.
I look for people like yourself and other people in the FJC. Really inspires me to kind of like, hey, I need to get back or whatever. If you're losing weight and people seeing change, they're working out. It really helps,
Yeah.
drives me. Say, hey, so I need to go and do this, whatever. And I just want to say that just seeing you do your improvement and you're losing weight and everything you're doing,
Hmm.
keep it up, man. Like I'm proud of you. I want to get back to the 180s too. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because back in the day I wanted to hit my max weight
Hmm.
because like they do like weight and height standards in the military. In the Marines, we have to meet certain standards. And my goal was to hit like 175. What I wanted to gain weight, so I could purposely be kind of weighed and
Hmm.
and measured to make sure I wasn't fat, but I was actually in shape and it was just muscle.
Yeah.
But now it's like the opposite. Now like I want to know, I wanted to cut down because I haven't been as active, so and
Yeah.
I've been eating like an asshole the past couple because I've been told by the doctor to take it easy. So okay, well, working from home behind the desk
Yeah.
and not going to the gym because you've been told to take it easy doesn't really help
Yeah.
with progression. It's kind of like the opposite. But yeah, I get re-inspired. So like seeing that, it's like so you know what? I gotta, I gotta, I gotta get back. I mean, it's like I want to get back to what, you know, plus the 180s and stuff. So yeah, that's the one to touch that real quick before we go.
Yeah.
Keep it. I'm looking forward to seeing your progress,
Hmm.
and I'm always available if you're wanting to get any advice and tips, whatever. So when it comes to um, working out or
Yeah.
putting on muscle, whatever stuff.
Well,
I may
you're
not look it, but I have the knowledge.
yeah.
So
Well, you're a one. You're like literally the first person I hit up at first, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
yeah,
it takes a lot of mental
yeah,
to
yeah.
just
It's a
to
lot of
do
self
it.
discipline.
Yeah.
It's a lot of discipline, and since that for a lot of people, it has to be like a life changing.
Yeah.
It's a life thing. So and some people like they can't really commit. That's the thing. So if you really can't commit to it, then you're gonna keep on failing, and you just have to strive and push. But once you get in the zone, once you have like a set, routine,
Yeah.
and it becomes a lifestyle choice. It's that change in lifestyle choice, and that then you see progress, and once you see progress or whatever, and then you're gonna see this, and you're gonna do great. It's not if it was easy. This is what I tell my girlfriend's kid. Um, I said, look, if it was easy, you know, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be having 8 packs and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
No, it's not.
You're not gonna do it overnight. You got to put work into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's one thing I want to leave here with those if you are looking to get into fitness or whatever. It's that first couple months you don't expect to see huge rapid muscle gain or weight loss, whatever. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
I didn't get this big overnight. I spent 10 years in the Marine Corps, in
Core.
the Marines, and I wasn't as big as I am in the Marines. I was more active, so it wasn't until I got out and I was still working that I started to put on muscle and more stuff when
Yeah.
I was out the Marines. But you're talking about 10, and then plus another 5, 10. So about 20 years
Yeah.
of work, of eating the right stuff,
Mm-hmm.
doing the correct exercise, doing the correct thing. It's a work in progress. So if you're a teenager, if you're watching this and you're on the young side, um, it takes time. You gotta be patient. Patience is virtual, so patience is the key. There's no shortcuts.
Yeah. There
Right,
isn't.
there's shortcuts, but then there's consequences with certain
Yeah.
shortcuts and stuff. So,
Yeah, there is.
and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, Rotendo, we hit the 2 hour mark, man. Thank you for dropping by. So let me see here. Anything? Before we cut ourselves loose here. What are your next plans like in with Paragon or just like with yourself in general? What's the next step for you going forward after this?
Oh man, yeah, I have a lot of things going on. So with Warhound Gaming, Paragon,
Okay.
with Evo, so I wasn't
Yeah, cause
working this
yeah,
year.
yeah, cause
So
like
this
you
it's a whole new
know,
direction. So a whole new there's a lot of new people that was brought on. So of course there's to be changes with that.
okay,
So I don't know what that's going to be and whatever. All I know is that I was able to enjoy Evo this year without having to run around the floor and put out
yeah,
fires, which is great. But I would love to get back to do that. 'Cause I just love helping. But I'd rather be helping
yeah,
run stuff than trying to win. I can attend like the locals and like the majors for that.
yeah,
But on a larger scale, I believe that my assistants and my work could do um, more than just me being a participant.
yeah,
So I think I need more by helping out than just participating. But it's just like continue doing like projects,
yep,
building computers. I'm starting to um, I want to kind of branch out more to kind of showcase my PC builds and things like
mm-hmm,
that. My mods, like I have an Arcade One Up, a couple mods that's a few people in the community have seen. And what I mean by community, I mean like the Arcade One Up fighting game community. They've seen what I've done with my control panel, for example. It's like, man, that's like I've never seen anything so clean.
yeah,
I can't wait to see what you've done with the Morpho 2, cabinet. So I'm just kind of looking to one up people
nice,
when it comes to because I'm looking the YouTube videos like that's not a mod. You're just replacing buttons.
yeah,
That's not really like a modification. You're just like
yeah,
swapping out parts. It's like you want to see a real mod. Okay, I got you. Whatever.
yeah,
So yeah. So I'm looking for it. But all the parts and everything just is sitting right there. I can make my own panel for Infancy 2. So when that comes in, I already have it pre-built. I just got like make mods to the cabinet itself and then affix it to the cabinet and then it's up for display. And then, KI and Street Fighter, I'm looking to pick up, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6.
Mm-hmm.
I will be competing in those games, because I'm a competitor first.
Yeah.
You can never take the competitive spirit away from me, from people. So,
Yeah.
um, I still play KI. I would want to continue being involved in as many KI projects as they will allow me to be involved with.
Yeah.
Um, Hopefully we hear something about a new game in the near future.
Hopefully.
Um, Hopefully, and if there's any way that I could be involved on a developer level, I would quit my job. Or if it was working, if I can work from home, that'd be ideal, right?
Yeah.
But but I don't know. I would love to be able to kind of contribute on a developer level for the
Mm-hmm.
next KI game in some capacity.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. So hopefully we hear something in the next couple of years, maybe next couple of months. Who knows? Just people out there that know something, that know something, that know something.
Yeah.
So
But we'll see. I got one more question to ask you.
okay.
I'm looking at that glass case in the background that's right behind you. Is Spinal in there or no? Or just are those just all
That's
Gundams?
that's all Transformers.
Oh, all Transformers. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, those are all Transformers. Let me turn the light on real quick.
Yeah, go
Kind of
ahead.
darker.
I'm like, Spinal should be back there. Oh, okay, okay. Now I see it. Now I see it.
Yeah, so I have three detail shells, and I have like this. I have a closet here. So a closet here, I have like a shelf full of Transformer like in boxes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found some more in the garage when I was like packing up stuff. So this is incomplete
Okay.
because I'm still like this whole office is still incomplete. So I'm still working on my desk.
Yeah, cause I
Stuff
can
on the floor here.
yeah, I see the tower. I see an open GPU over there.
This is the old tower. This is the other one, the KI with the KI thing. Let me
Oh,
kind of show you.
oh yeah, I remember you took an
No,
Instagram.
I'm not gonna lift it. It's freaking heavy.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, but
go.
the new one, I had to move out in the hallway because I was doing that video for work,
Yeah,
and it was in the way.
yeah,
I don't want them to see like all this computer stuff. But yeah, that one's the new. This is the old new that's supposed to be new, but with the video cards came out, and I was like, okay, I need to get that new. I need to get that new. But now we got the 40 series. I was like, God damn it.
yeah,
I just got this 3090 card, and now I got the 40 series out, but I think I'm good
yeah.
for like
Well,
another 2 years.
pretty much. Well,
But yeah,
Rotendo, thanks for coming on the show today. It's been a long time coming for you to come on. Sharing like old school stories. With us.
I got a lot of
And
stories. I got a story. Thank you, Matt, for having me.
mm-hmm.
I want to shout out to Paragon Gaming. Shout out to all you beautiful people in the FGC and especially the KI community itself.
Yeah,
Um, because without you, I wouldn't be who I am today. The FGC has always been an extension of my family because it's just
yeah,
me and my kids and whatever, and then I have like the FGC. So
yeah,
they've always been here for me. When my wife passed, the FGC, like the FGC kind of like
yeah,
they took care of me. They whatever they kind of picked me up, and I stayed. You know, and then I'm trying to I do what I can to kind of to give back
yeah,
to the community, and just want to see I want to see growth, and hopefully one day the FGC will hit esports status, and we'll be seeing the money that these or the orgs, well, not orgs but other esports entities get,
yeah,
like League of Legends, but we're not there yet. Hopefully in the near future the FGC will get the support that it deserves, and where we're seeing some decent payout for its players and not
Yeah.
just, you know, a couple $100 or whatever stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but we're not there yet. We'll get there, and I want to see the expansion to like the PC. I think that's the next thing is,
Yeah.
moving, transitioning, and evolving from console to PC.
Yeah, I can kind of see that coming too, man. Hopefully, things get better for us. Only time can tell. We just gotta be patient. But yeah, man. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time, dude, because I know you've been sitting on that chili cheese cone for a good while. So, oh man, dude, another
Still
app.
edible.
Yeah, it's still edible, but
It's edible.
yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on. So, guys, all of his links are right under him. So, if you guys want to go ahead and follow those, go ahead and type that in on Twitter and then also on his Twitch channel, okay? All right, Rotendo, I'm going to let you go, man. Thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and hopefully next live event that, um, you know what? I'm going to try to talk to Chris to see if I can come to Texas Showdown next year. I really want to go. So, I might have to talk to him, though. So, we'll see. So,
All right, brother.
all right, man. You have a good night, all right?
All right. All right, peace.
Peace. All right, guys, that was Rotendo, and really cool guy to the KI community. I cannot thank him enough for coming on, and just a quick shout out to Paragon Gaming for picking him for the events and stuff like that. Couldn't pick anybody better than that man, because he's been around the FGC since literally it started growing. So he's been around, he's seen it all, and he's been involved in it all. So no better person to have on your guys' team. Shout outs to Mimi and McLab for following me on Twitch. I did see that, you guys. Thank you guys very much. Hopefully, maybe one day I can get you guys on the show. One day, if you have time, of course. So, and plus, shout outs to all of you guys for listening to the podcast tonight. And my next guest, if he ever gets a hold of me, I'll be shooting the next episode next week, pretty much around the same time, 4 o'clock. I think that's the comfort zone that I like. Went pretty smoothly, with the time and everything. And yeah, if you're listening, get back to me because I messaged you. Hopefully, I can get I can get him on the show next week. Real honored to have him on the team. Also love to figure out something out, especially for someone else who's in NorCal. I could probably talk to a couple of people, but it's mainly the people in the Bay Area you want to talk to be quite honest. I'm in Sacramento. What I do for the KI community, I play competitively, but I also give out color codes like they're candy. So, I try to I pretty much kind of do the same thing as Rotendo does. I try to make people happy the best way I can. I try to help support tournaments, literally the best way I can. I moved out from Oakland to Sac about. Are you in Sac? If you're in Sac, then we need to get together. Oh my god, you are. Well, I'm in Sac. Yeah, we need to get together. Just follow me on Twitter and we'll talk. Don't sponsor me. Don't sponsor me. But Anyways, you guys, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, if he can get back to me as soon as possible, Zip, I would love to have you on the show. You're also another one that needs to come on. And I also have a couple of people in mind. They just haven't gotten back to me, but it was really cool to have Rotendo on here. Finally, our schedules weren't really matching up because he's been doing projects at his house, and then, I'm doing my thing and stuff like that. But we finally got together. It's like, we need to do this, Rotendo. We need to do this. So, if you guys haven't already, please hit that follow button. But if you guys love me, please smash that subscribe button. Alright, guys. This is Virus, and I hope I kept you guys on another one. This is episode 7 of Talk Your Instinct, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good night, everybody. Please stay safe, and be sure you tell somebody you love them.